Hey kids,
Hey, Dad!
what do you want to do today?
We don't know!
Want to go to the movies?
No!
Want to go to the water park?
No!
Want to go play disc golf?
Yeah! Let's go play Discgolf!
Hey guys, welcome back to RC Disc Golf Podcast. With me today, I got a good friend of mine, Josiah Young, everybody. Now, does everybody call you Josiah or do they call you Joe?
Joe.
Joey. Doesn't matter?
Hey, kid.
Okay. Hey kid or big kid?
Hey, kid.
Okay, I think I'm big kid.
No. Well, I mean, big kid works now.
I'm getting there, yeah.
Yeah.
I
got that dad bod.
honestly, this is crazy that you bought a case of beer for us, which is great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This would be my first beer of 2025.
Oh, well then, cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Man.
I was trying to cut back, you know.
Yeah.
I haven't had Voodoo Ranger in a long time either.
I got this by accident.
Did you? Why?
Because I really like Juice Jolt. And
Oh.
They must have been out, so I bought Juice Force.
I don't remember the difference. So.
Juice Jolt's just, it's Southern tier. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring the mic a little bit closer.
a little closer.
Yeah,
Got it.
like I said, for some reason those headphones are louder than mine.
Got it.
Okay, I hear you better now.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, first beer of 2025. It's in the books now.
Right on.
No, I've been out of work, and I gained 20 pounds. So
What's going on with work?
they shut down the plant.
Which plant were you at?
It was Sumitomo Rubber, USA.
Okay.
So the old Dunlop plant. Now it's just gone. So pretty sure I can talk about it since they're no longer there.
Well,
You know?
I can't go into like huge details of where I work, but
Mhm.
I work at Tesla, so they're always looking for people in the warehouse.
You know, I honestly didn't think of that, because this was a really good, high-paying job, and I'm trying to get around the same rate that it was paying.
Sure.
I got like multiple applications out right now, and for like the last 3 months, and nobody's called me.
Gotcha.
So I don't know what's going on. I can try that. Are they local?
Yeah. So I'm just down in Buffalo, just
Okay.
right off South Park.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about I mean, from here you're probably looking at like a 40-minute commute.
Yeah. It's not something I really wanted to do, work in Buffalo, because I tried General Mills. Actually, that one I did hear back from. I didn't get that job, which is okay. I don't
Yeah.
really want to drive downtown Buffalo every day and in the snow, but
Yeah.
if I have to, I have to. But if I could choose something closer to me, I'd rather work closer to me.
I gotcha.
But
That makes sense.
it does make sense. Every job that I've had has always been within like a 20-minute drive of my house.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's what Tesla is for me. It's all
Exactly.
It's all highway. So
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to look into that one.
Cool.
All right. Thanks for the tip.
of
All right.
course.
Well, let's get into disc golf.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been playing for?
So my background in disc golf is very like
Yeah.
loopy. It started out probably like early 2015 with me finding a disc because I was a big baseball guy, and most local courses where I grew up have baseball fields right next to them. I'm originally from Washington.
Oh, Washington
And,
State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Seattle. So
Alright.
grew up 15 minutes south of the city. But yeah, me and my buddy, youth group leaders and whatnot, we'd go out there and chew discs like a DX Shark and a Valkyrie. And
Okay.
just go walk and throw. No idea what we're doing. Just messing around. And then when I moved out here, I didn't want to try to find baseball teams. So I had a buddy at a barbecue go, "Hey, you should play disc golf." Like, invited me out, and I was hooked from day one.
Nice. That's it. Pretty much how I started too. That's a guy I worked with, Deshaun. I don't know if you know him.
Sean.
Deshaun Ranjan.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been out of playing for a while because he screwed up his leg. But
Okay.
he'll be back.
Yeah.
I worked with him and he got me into it
Right on.
because I wanted to lose weight. There's another thing is like I need to get out and do stuff
way to do
outdoors. So yeah, walking around the park, especially in our location. Like,
Yep.
Walking Bond Lake 3 times a day, that's a good workout.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
that's how I started with it too. So since 2015, that's a long time. What makes it go up and down?
So 2015 is probably when I played like my first quote unquote round. Again, this was just me and my buddy throwing DX Sharks and Valkyries.
Okay, just a casual round.
But my first, like, really started playing, started learning the game, watching YouTube, understanding what Joe Men's Pro is and different companies and different discs and molds and so on. That was probably when I moved here back in 2019.
Okay.
It was just before the COVID boom. Like I said, I was at a neighbor's barbecue, and they saw me tossing cornhole, and they're like, "Dude, you'd be good at putting. Like, you should come out and try." I was like, "All right, yeah, let's give it a shot." And
you got to really love the sport to pick out someone's cornhole toss and be like, you know what, you should play disc golf instead.
Yeah. Well, the other joke of this was they took me to Darien Lake, was my first ever course.
Oh, okay.
And that was like my home course, which, I mean, I'm sure like the joke around here is like Darien Lake's where disc golfers go to die.
I've never played it.
Yeah, don't. You're good.
Well, it's on the list for NRDG doubles this year.
Okay.
Darian's on there, and Evan Gola is on the list for the Traveling Wednesday League. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Like I said, it's going to depend on when I get a job.
I'm being a little bit silly because like it is a fun course. It has a lot of potential, but your fairways are like,
that's what I keep hearing,
basically 10 feet across. And if you go in, it's one of the only courses that I know typically they have a drop rule where it's like if you go into the brush, you can just take a penalty stroke, walk out. So
okay, I've never played courses like that, but that does make sense to me. I mean, if you can't find your disc, it's going to be,
for sure.
Like, what are you supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah. And you're supposed to play where you'd see where it went out of bounds or something like that. But there's lots of places like at Bond or Wilson where I could not find my disc.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah, what are you supposed to do now?
Yeah, Bond especially has a couple spots where you can spend a good 15 minutes looking for something that went straight in.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
Happens to me a lot. So that's why I got a few get-out-of-jail-free cards now in my bag, like the Lone Star Chupacabra.
Yeah.
That if I'm in the woods with that disc, it's getting out of the woods.
That's my utility disc. I love that thing.
That thing is the flippiest thing I've ever seen.
The Chupacabra?
Yeah.
Really? Was flip? What kind of plastic did you get it in?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because that might be. Because for me, it's like a Firebird.
I'll show you later. Yeah, it's kind of like I would say that, but I think mine's flippier than my Firebird. I have a Halo Firebird.
I'll have to take a look at that because I throw a Bravo one.
Okay.
It's actually one of the only discs I like seriously keep.
I don't know. I honestly don't know the difference between Alpha, Bravo, and Lima for their plastic. I just know the difference between those ones and the Founders plastic for Lone Star.
Yeah.
The Founders is obviously the best thing that they have.
Right. Yeah, your Founders is like top of the line. That's going to be your super true to flight number, true to holding up over time. Alpha is the next step down, so it's a firmer plastic, good for warm weather, kind of loosen up. Bravo is good for cold weather, it's more gummy. Okay. And then Lima is basically your lightweight.
Oh, okay.
It's also, I think it's still recyclable, like it's biodegradable.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There's a few of them that I have that are. I don't think I have any Limas. I think mainly Alpha or Bravo. If they didn't have Alpha, I think that's when I got the Bravo.
Gotcha.
Because it's like I know the list of Alpha Bravo. Obviously, that's better, second best. But I don't I can't feel. I'm not at the stage where I can feel the disc and be like,
gotcha.
This is good plastic.
Yeah.
They all feel kind of the same for me. I just know what I like, and I do like the more of a gummier top to it.
Hop tops.
Yeah. Yep. I like those a little bit more. But I guess it really doesn't matter. I guess whatever flies good for me.
I mean, if it feels good, it's going to fly good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't feel good, you're not going to throw it.
Yeah, I learned this year more about how discs fly and how I throw them than anything else. I mean, I went from throwing what I thought I needed to throw to get a good distance, which was a high-speed disc at as much power as I could put into it, and it wasn't working out. So what I did was I went down to 9-speed fairway drivers, and I was out driving all of my high-speed discs. And I was like, why didn't I learn this sooner? So now a lot of my discs, like the highest I go is 11-speed, and I'm breaking 320 now. Yeah. So that's awesome. Great for me this year.
What that tells me is that you're getting proper speed on the disc
Yeah.
to do what it's supposed to do.
Yep. I did do the tech disc. Is it tech disc
Yeah.
at Spartan?
Yep.
I didn't post it. I'm just kind of like using it for my own knowledge.
Sure.
Also, it was different because I'm a lefty thrower.
Yep.
I think it's because it's on Kevin's like
Mm-hmm.
his home page or whatever, and he's right-handed. So my backhands was reading forehand on the tech disc.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
But I maxed out. Let me see here. My forehand, well, not forehand, my backhand throwing the tech disc, I maxed out. My speed was 51.5 miles per hour
Okay.
with a 930 RPM spin.
Okay.
So decent.
Yeah.
I don't think that's too bad. I could definitely push that more for sure. Plus, I think he said that disc was a Undertaker.
Yes, it is. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
I've never thrown an Undertaker before.
It's one of my favorite fairways.
All right.
Yep. It's one of those discs that went straight back in the bag at the beginning of the season. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
I was actually out throwing Como the other day in the cold and the snow, and I was loving just holding my Undertaker again. So yeah.
Okay. Who
Yeah.
makes Undertaker? Is that Discraft?
That's Discraft. It's a
Okay.
9-speed straight flyer.
Just pretty much stable.
Yeah.
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 I still am leaning more towards overstable than understable for a lot of them. I have like maybe
Sure.
3 or 4 understables.
Okay.
Like 2 of them I mainly use for rollers.
Yep.
And then a couple slower speed ones, like a couple mid ranges I'll use if I want to have something to flip up through a tight tunnel.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
But you being a lefty, like all the courses, it probably works for you.
Some of them.
You know, I would say Como is probably going to be your toughest challenge as far as a lefty course.
Como is my toughest
Because
challenge.
you're immediately going towards water.
Every
Like,
time. I cannot break. I honestly think my best score at Como might be 7 over par.
Okay.
Maybe. That might be exaggerating that one. I heard completely wrong. I don't know.
No.
This year competing, I was double digits over par, like
Yep.
very consistently there.
Yep.
I don't know what it is with me and Como. Like even hole 1,
Mm-hmm.
it's very self-explanatory. It's just straight, and it's a par 4, and I
Yeah.
cannot par that hole.
It is, but it isn't. Because, like, you lefty, what people forget about that hole is for your release point to throw a straight shot, you're
Mhm.
contending with the first 4 trees on that left-hand side.
Exactly.
So you kind of have to, like, anti-flex something, get it
Mhm.
moving towards OB, hopefully not get a cut roller that rolls straight back into the
Into the
bushes
roadway.
or worse, into
Yep.
the water. So,
The worst. Well, it would have been a great shot, but it never
Yeah.
came back inbounds. It went straight OB across the roadway. That would have been a fantastic shot if it just at least skipped off the road up and back in bounds. But
what are you throwing there?
that one was I think that was the curl that time.
The curl?
Yes,
Good
and
disc for that.
yes, but I think I had too much. Like I turned it,
Gotcha.
and the curl doesn't need to be turned.
No, it does
So-
a lot of that on its own.
Yeah. So I know I can throw it real good now. So I haven't been back at Como since that last tournament. I don't remember what it was. Sanctioned for Science, or it was a point
Okay.
series. I think that might be the only 2 I did last year.
Point series would make sense because that was rough this year.
It was. Didn't rain.
Rainy day.
It rained a lot last year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But right now on we can go back to this Ellicott Creek hole 4, which is the long par 4.
Yeah, right up.
I'll throw the curl there, and I throw it straight up the gut with it. So
Perfect.
I'm getting a good
yeah,
shot with
hole
that
works
now.
out for you.
hmm
That cuts back.
Yep. Even if I have a bad shot, which has happened to me before, where I'm too far left,
Yeah.
I still can just hyzer right around.
Yep.
At the left side, still go OB and have it cut back in.
Yeah.
I've still parred it doing it that way, just going
Cool.
outside over the path. I don't recommend it because it's scary.
Yeah.
If you hit a tree, you're done.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I played there, but my miss is to actually fight left on that so that it opens up the trees. Because, being right-hand, backhand,
hmm
I got to contend with the tunnel kind of moving left.
Yeah. Okay.
where yours is going to move more straight down that tunnel and then crash towards the basket.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I might be thinking a hole 3, but yeah,
There's not really a tunnel on 3.
yeah,
It's wide open on the left side. You have more trees in front of the basket on the right side.
yeah.
So yeah, if you got a great forehand, actually, I see a lot of people backhand that shot anyways on hole 3 there.
Yeah,
So I'm parking that hole. I actually overthrow that hole now.
right on.
If I throw the curl there, it's over. It's going. Even Nimitz, I've gone past it.
Nice.
So I'm very happy with how my season ended personally with
Yeah.
my driving and my knowledge of the disc that I have. But as far as playing, was not. My rating went down like 6 points.
I'm with you there.
It was really bad this year for me competing wise.
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason why I'm up with. I did not join Lone Star team again, but half of my bag is still Lone Star because I've gotten so used to those
Sure.
discs. But I have a couple. Like I have the Boss in there,
Mhm.
Firebird. I also have a Hatchet in there.
Okay.
And then a bunch of Daredevil discs.
Yep.
So
You're showing me those look pretty sick.
I love them.
Yep.
They fly great. They do exactly what I want it to do. Back when I started playing, and I found Daredevil and I had a bunch of them in my bag. I played better than I did last year.
Yep.
So my rating went up every single time. Couple near misses on some good ace runs.
Yeah.
So and now I'm going back to my roots, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
No, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, I'm picking out what I like and putting them back in the bag.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I had a similar year. I know we talked about this. I think it was the last Point Series event. Just kind of like not really loving what I was doing that year. Almost
Mhm.
being too competitive with myself and not enjoying the game again. And
Yeah.
a lot of that came down to I was trying to make some of those Lone Star molds replace things that I really loved from Discraft
Yeah.
for no reason other than to like be different,
Yep.
you know.
I
So
think that's what I was doing too. I was trying to find a Lone Star because the Boss was one of my favorite discs.
Yep.
It worked really good for my forehand, and I was starting to get really good backhand shots with it too. Some really good distance with them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can picture this hole 3 Bond Lake from the whites. I mean, you're crossing over an open field, and there's a small gap to get up into where the basket is. I made it just past that ditch into the gap with the backhand on with the Boss, Star
Awesome.
Boss. Furthest shot I've ever made on that hole. So
Yeah.
I grabbed some Lone Stars and thinking which ones are going to fly like that. And
Like a
I
Boss.
couldn't find one.
Yeah, no, you're
So-
not going to.
I was thinking the Bayonet.
Yeah,
That
that
didn't
thing
work
was
out.
super overstable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
those
the-
flight numbers are a lie.
Or the Bowie.
No,
But
they're really overstable.
I never
discs.
bought. I never ended up buying the Bowie.
Yeah.
Because the Bayonet didn't work out. So I was like, I don't know what to do.
No.
The numbers are the same.
Yeah.
Going from the Boss to the Bayonet or the Bowie.
Yeah, but those flight paths are completely
Oh, yeah.
radically different.
Oh yeah, they were.
So
But yeah, so now I'm grabbing what I like again, and
Yep.
and we're starting over. So hopefully
yeah.
this year, 2025, is gonna be a lot better. So-
same. I'm just trying to love disc golf again.
Exactly.
You know, like I'm big into, you know, with Spartan and everything, like doing putting league and just having fun again. You know, and when you're having fun, you play better.
Mhm.
Like when I stop worrying about the score at the end of the round, I play way better.
Yeah, that was my problem. I think it was in my head a lot. I actually just did putting league for the first time yesterday at Fat Man's,
Okay,
and me and my partner for the doubles portion of it, we took second place.
right on.
So he definitely carried the team. He was a lot better than I was.
What are you
Another-
putting with now?
I'm putting with the Daredevil disc. I also didn't know how putting league worked, so I
Yeah.
only brought 2 discs with me.
Got ya.
So I had to borrow one. I borrowed what is it? MVP.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
borrowed one of those, and that
James
one.
Conrad.
Yeah,
MVP.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and that wasn't working out for me. I could barely make that in the
Yeah.
basket. But as far as the putters that I do like is the Daredevil Woodchuck,
Yep.
the Bear, and the Bighorn.
Yep.
I like my 3 go-to for putting. But I also bought the Daredevil Owl, Great Horned Owl.
Okay.
That one I haven't really flown yet.
Gotcha.
So
Still working on it.
yeah,
trying it out.
I've tried it in Spartans, their little 100-foot pitching net.
Yep.
Trying to hit the basket in there. It does fly pretty straight.
Yeah.
But it's domier than a
Right.
lot of putters, and I'm not a really huge fan of that for actual putting.
Right.
So that one's gonna be in the bag for mainly throwing.
Cool.
And the bear and the woodchuck are definitely gonna be my go-to putters from range.
Yeah.
The woodchuck is nice and soft and gummy. So that one I like to use for like big up shots, 100 feet or so, 60 feet. I usually just hyzer them up to the pin. Let it.
Yep.
It's either gonna hit it, or it's gonna stay right there.
Sit down.
Yeah, because it'll fold right on itself.
Nice.
And then from like 30 feet out or whatever, 25, the bear will just
You're
fly
leaning
right in
towards
there.
bear.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, the woodchuck I can hit too at 25, 30 feet.
Yeah.
So either one, it's going to depend on the wind. I don't want a
Gotcha.
big floppy disc like the woodchuck is in
Yep.
heavy wind. I'll take the more stable one.
Gotcha.
I'll take the bear. But I'm just figuring them out.
Yep.
I mean, the bear and the
I think
horned
it's
owl
great.
are brand new. I
Yep.
haven't played with them outside yet.
Do you have like practice basket?
I have one in the basement. Yeah.
Yep. I do the same.
Yeah, I got about a 30-foot range in the basement. I can probably go a little bit further if I go corner to corner, but then I got two
Yep.
chimneys in the way, so I got to get some technical shots in there.
I understand that.
It's
Yep.
fun because I was practicing forehanding them too,
Hmm.
trying to get like around one of the chimneys, and I'm like, because I can't forehand a putter.
Like those soft little turn
Yeah,
anti-flex.
Every
kinda.
time I tried to forehand a putter, it just came out super wobbly. I'm like, how do
Yep.
people do this? And it seems so smooth and
I
straight.
don't forehand putters.
Yeah,
I gave up.
It's actually a really soft motion with a slight flick.
Yeah.
That's like all I'm doing.
Well, I mean, I guess I should say, unless you count a zone as a putter, I don't throw putters forehand.
I mean, some people might.
But
You know.
yeah, no. Like my regular putters, I started putting with PA3s, just really focusing on being straight with my putt
Mhm.
and not trying to do the big hyzer thing. I used to putt with Lunas, I used to putt with Benny's before that, and try to put like the big hyzer putt. And I just needed something that was straight. Handshake to the basket.
Yep.
And it's been helping me. I'm also turning into a little bit of a mold minimalist. Just keep the same thing and beat everything in the same. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I had this debate with Josh a few weeks back, and a lot of
I think I
people,
remember this.
on my side. I got a lot of people on my side
Yeah,
saying that at 30 feet, it really shouldn't matter what type of
Right.
mold or what type of putter it is if you're
Right.
making them 30 feet consistently. I'm more focusing on the motion.
Yep.
And your form and the
Totally.
repetition between that.
Yeah.
Your release point and all that nonsense. It all should be the same at 30 feet.
Fully agree with that.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I understand what Josh is saying also though.
Yeah.
Where you want to have how it feels in the hand,
Mhm.
and you want to keep
Yeah.
that feeling so it doesn't, you don't mess yourself up. I understand that what he's getting at.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it's
I think inside 30 feet, you really inside 30 feet, if you're having a different putt, that's a form issue, not so much the putter.
exactly.
And I don't mean that meanly. I just think you're putting a different feel on the disc where I
Mhm.
don't care if I'm putting a Luna from 30 feet or I'm putting a PA3. Vastly different in how they work slow speed.
Mhm.
I'm punching that thing into the same spot.
Yeah.
You're really not seeing any movement out of the disc. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep, but I can understand if it feels different, if it's that drastic in your hand. Josh has said this too. He's got like really tiny hands.
Yeah.
So he's got the maiden right now,
Okay.
and he loves that. And if it's working out for you, then fine, just stick with that. I'm not gonna practice how you want to practice. I
Yep.
practice different because I'm not gonna go and buy a box full of the same disc
Right.
and then form myself into using just that one disc
Yep.
because I might try something new and just find out it works better. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a part of me that even yesterday, I'm in the garage putting with my daughter from 15 feet away,
Mhm.
just practicing driving my putt into the chain that I wanted to, into the link specifically. And I'm sitting there like, man, do I want to switch back to Lunas? Like, do I want that? Do I want that back again? And then you get that little voice in your head that's like, it shouldn't matter. 50 feet away, this is a form issue if you're missing.
Mhm.
From 30 feet away, again, is this a form issue or a disc issue?
Mhm.
If you're thinking it's a disc issue, you might want to call a friend.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, you might want some feedback
Yeah.
because I could tell the difference when releasing when it's gonna hit or not hit, because
Yeah.
I can feel it. It's like, oh,
Right.
I'm off on that one before it even gets to the basket. I know
Right.
it's not gonna hit because my release point was off.
Do you tape yourself when you play at all?
Sometimes, yeah, yeah. I'll
That's
go out.
something like huge eye opening for me.
Mhm.
I just have it set up on my cart that I can just hit record.
These little tripods here that these cameras are on. I have
Yep.
another one that I'll put my phone on, and I'll
Gotcha.
have that like strapped to my bag.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've done that a few times, mainly to make some good. We'll try to make some good content.
Right.
Not really for like form reviews.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and I don't even mean necessarily just for form reviews, but I was actually going through some of my videos from the last 2 years of just like being out with friends playing.
mhm.
And I realized, like I was saying before, I'm really working on reaching and really putting my arm out towards the basket when I putt now,
Mhm.
because I get better trajectory and I get better force and power, and I'm actually hitting where I want to hit.
Okay.
Where I went back and I watched some of these videos and I'm getting frustrated because I'm doing this really soft like flick and then stopping my arm,
Okay.
and everything inside me being a baseball guy was like, no, you gotta follow through.
Yeah.
You're cutting yourself short that extra 15 feet, whatever you need. So that's why I brought that up. Is
Mhm.
sometimes watching yourself, you can see yourself go, I'm doing something a little off here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got some good putting from me in my basement from the other day.
Yeah.
I put that up online just to prove a point to Josh that because I think it was a PA4 or PA5 or
Yep.
Prodigy disc in there. There was a couple Lone Stars. There was a cast of Burst,
Mhm.
Gateway, and AVR, and
Yep.
I'm at 30 feet in my basement. I'm
Yep.
just making them all.
Yep.
So
Right on.
but again, that's my basement. We go out
Yep.
into the field, and I'm missing all of those.
Well,
So
and I think that's where you find the one that feels good, and that's where you become
That's
like
what-
on the course become the minimalist, so that
Mhm.
you're not questioning yourself.
yeah, like
Some
I have
might
my
even
I have my favorites, and those ones are in the bag. I do like when I'm using all the discs in my basement. They're all from like player packs and
Yep.
like little events.
tournament
Yeah.
stuff that you get.
That's how I got all those putters. So and that's mainly like warming up, getting my form in, and just practicing
Right.
reps, and then when I really want to try like making like good form putts and technical putts, I'm using the putters that I keep in my bag
Right.
for those. So
Yep.
that's the way that I'm practicing as of right now. But like I said, when I get out in the field, I don't putt as good as I do at home.
Yep.
It's really frustrating, and I know it's a mental thing. But that's one thing that I want to do when I went to putting league. I was like, the first couple of them, I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
actually nervous. I want to make these 15-foot putts, which I ended up missing a couple 15-footers there.
Yep.
Quite a few, actually. And it's just a mental thing.
Yep.
So if I go to putting league more often, I think I might be able to break that. I might try to do Spartan this weekend.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to go Friday or Saturday. I'm gonna see what Keith from Forbin Dye Works is doing, because he's got another disc for me.
Do you have like a routine before you start putting?
Kind of. I kind of just stand straight up, basic.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of similar to Missy Gannon, I think. She's kind of like staggered stance, but her hands are down.
Yeah.
And she's getting focused. I kind of stand with my feet together, just
Yeah.
at the basket, same thing. And then I'll bring my hand up, and as I drop my right leg back and
Yeah.
get into a stance then, and then just toss it in.
I got you. I meant
So
so.
I just developed that this last season too, like the end of the season. I was
so
like, I have a
more-
routine now for putting, and I was
Yeah.
like, let's just keep doing this routine over and over again.
Yeah, what I meant more so is like before you start your round, or before you start like a
Oh, for
tournament round.
practicing,
Yeah, do you have like
No.
a set that
like
you
a
go through?
warm up routine? No, not really.
Yeah.
What I used to do, I would show up early before signups, like 20, 30 minutes before signups started.
Yep.
And I'll play like 5 holes.
Yep.
So I'm throwing a backhand, I'm throwing a
loose.
forehand, and I'm putting. I'm just playing the course like I would
Right.
normally, and then I sign up, and then
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
gotcha.
Earlier this last season, I played a lot more with Josh, and I warmed up with Josh. And Josh's warm up is we just take him to a field and
Yep.
throw. And it's
I'm not
like
a field guy either.
I don't like it.
That's not me.
I could throw anything in a field, and
Yeah.
it's gonna go either far left or far right. It's gonna be a terrible shot on the course.
Yeah.
Um, that's pretty much the only good way to like just loosen yourself up.
Right.
But for me to like, because a lot of times I've done this a lot too, is where my forehand, I'll end up rolling my wrist and I'm just spiking it into the ground.
Yep.
But if I go out on the course and warm up that way, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. No.
I don't
Something
know.
I was gonna say is like, so putting league. Kevin Nicole will make fun of me for this because they know what I'm talking about. Same with like Trevor and some of the people from
Yeah.
Spartan. Is I'll stand like 10, 15 feet away. Like I'm not super picky about it. And then because I'm doing more of a spin putt now,
Mm-hmm.
I will fire at the basket from 15 feet away. I don't
Okay.
care if I make it. I don't care if I like. I'm really not focusing so much on making a putt in that moment. I'm focusing on feel. Like where's my body at,
Okay.
and just fire those three putts, pick them up, do another three, and once I kind of have that, like, hey, where's my body at tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll start fine tuning, like from 15 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
How many can I put right on the chain where I want it? Back it up, do 20 footers, 30 footers, and then go do the course.
Gotcha.
Then go do my practice round. Because if I can't get a baseline, I'm not doing any successful work for myself. I'm not setting myself up for success.
Gotcha. I have heard the start small and work your way up
Yeah.
type of situation for warming up and practicing. A lot of times though, when I go to just warming up putting for any event, I'm pretty far out. I'll
Excuse me.
I'll be out 35, 40 feet.
Yep.
Because that's my problem area. So
I got you.
I don't know. I am feeling more confident after this last week, especially going with putting league.
Yeah.
Around 20, 25 feet, I'm feeling a little more confident in it. Hopefully I can keep that and translate it into competing this year. I got my first event coming up in a couple of weeks.
Where you playing?
I'm doing the Winterfest at Ellicott Creek.
Oh, right on.
So hopefully it works out well. It's a doubles.
That's end of the month?
Yeah, 23rd, I think it
Okay.
is.
Yep.
So yeah, today's the recording right now on the 13th. So this isn't going to come out till next Friday.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah. I'm currently not on schedule for anything, but I have a pretty firm set of what I'm going to play this year.
have you seen the schedule?
I have. So I was going to kind of like talk to you about this too, is Buffalo Niagara Disc Golf Club.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar. They just
Yeah.
started up. Scott and Kevin Nicole, a couple handful of other people are starting it. 501c3.
I'm going to try to get Kevin on here and
Yeah.
discuss more into that. Yeah.
Yeah, super excited about it. It's $25 to become a member. With that, you get $5 off to your PDGA membership and
Mhm.
$5 off towards UDisc.
Yep.
But this is like disc golfers. Money going towards disc golfers, and I love it. It's going to go towards the community. There's a bunch of fun stuff that's going to be happening,
Mhm.
but they just released their schedule, what they have on the list, and
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to play almost everything with the exception of a couple of the dates butt up to each other. And as you know, like being a dad as well,
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
pick and choose my battles on that.
Yeah, I already warned my wife on that one too, because the first two ones that I want to do are kind of like butt up right next to each other, and that is the Throw a Dog a Bone in Springville, and that's on a Saturday, and then the following Sunday is the Spring Fling at Wilson, and I love playing Wilson. So I already warned her.
Gotcha.
That's both in April. So I warned her about that. I was like, hey, that might be the only weekend that I'm going to do Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to try not to do Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to do any of these big ones like Aberdeen Open. I don't think I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to do the BFDO. I don't know if I'm going to do these events this year.
Gotcha.
I mainly want to do point series.
Yep.
And if I can, leagues.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to pick out my favorites. So like Spring Fling, Bond Lake Open.
Yep.
What's the other one that I like to do at Bond?
So that,
It's usually in the fall. Is it even on here?
Is that Scott's? Because that might be one of Scott's
It might be.
tournaments. He does.
The Autumn Bond Open, that one.
Yeah, on Classic.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the fourth.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to try to do more at Como as well.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
because.
anytime you're out that way, give me a call.
Anytime you want to do a casual around there, let me know because
yeah.
I have to defeat that course this year.
For sure. We can get out and definitely get out there more.
Work on some
That's
stuff.
my favorite course. I love that course.
It's a lot of people's favorite courses, and it just destroys me.
Yeah, it eats my lunch quite often.
I also think like hole 8 should be a par 4. That's
Hole
the first
8,
one. That's the
yes.
first one across the water.
Yep. It's
I can't get there in 3, man.
It's a tough one because I think a lot of people's mistake is not playing that 4 par, which turns it in. Like I think it's just a hard par 3.
It's a very hard par 3. I am playing it for par.
Like I think a lot of people want to try to crush through that initial gap instead of just placement through that gap.
There's no placement through that gap for me. That's the other thing.
Well, and you being a lefty, that's probably true.
There's a tree that kind of like wise off.
Yep.
You'll see that it's more on the left side of that gap.
Yep.
I have to get there.
Right.
Like if a little bit past it would be perfect.
Yep.
And that's the prime spot for me to
gotcha.
get par from there.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, it's like I can't make it there.
It's
so difficult.
But that's where I love, like, what I love about Como is it forces you, like, it's a fairly open course, but it forces you to throw good shots.
Yes,
like,
it does.
Hit your lines. Like, yes, you miss your line a little bit. You don't know what you're gonna hit afterwards.
It's the other one too, 12. It's one of the longer ones back. You're throwing towards the road by the lighthouse.
Oh,
I think it's 12.
Yeah, that's 12.
That one's super far too.
That's a fun hole.
That's
you can pick your poison.
You can you can really want to rip one on that one. I've tried a roller there. For some reason, they do not want to work at Como.
Too tall.
Grass is way too thick.
Too tall, too thick. Too much. There's a lot of lumps and divots in it too that aren't clear until you're walking it.
Yep.
But yeah, I try to punch. You said you throw warbirds. I punch a warbird straight through it. I just try to put a little anti-flex on it, let it ride towards that first tree on the right, and then punch through.
Gotcha.
From there. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still more left side from there.
Yeah. Well,
but,
you being lefty, I think you could do the same thing. Kind of punch to that left tree. So you have those 2 trees that are probably about 200 feet out. Is that probably a little? That's probably a little over it. Probably closer to like 170. But anyway,
I don't know. It's another par 3 that seems like it should be a par 4 for me.
Yeah.
But here's the thing,
that
though.
one I would agree with you.
If you make that a par 4, though, it's going to be a super easy par 4 for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's going to save a lot of people. I'm not saying make the course that way,
No.
but maybe some events.
Yeah.
Tweak up these pars a little bit.
Yep. I think for me, that's something that's actually been helpful this last year. That taught me last year is just playing the course for par. Is par in its core meaning is like this is par for the course. This is this is how many shots we think it requires to get through this course from start to finish, like a good round. And so I don't even really worry about par anymore. I just kind of try to good shot equals good score, bad shots equal not so good score.
Yep.
Yep.
You got to play good placement shots for the maximum effort, I guess.
Yep.
Ken Climo said this the best, and it's just go out there, play the course.
Yep.
Beat the course.
Yep.
And it's like, man, that's a really good saying. I gotta put that in my head, like it's like a mantra, and just like meditate on that with every shot that I have.
Yeah.
Like just play the course and beat the course. Don't care what
That's
care what your car is doing. Don't care what anybody else is doing in the event.
Yep.
Just beat the course.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try to punch that in my head as hard as I can this year.
Yep.
And hopefully I can stick to it.
Well, I think something that all disc golfers struggle with is we all want to beat ourselves. We all kind of have this image of ourselves throwing these holes really, really well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so when we fall short of that, we end up beating ourselves up instead of just taking it for what it is. Brian Earhart has a really good quote where he was talking about, a lot of us will throw a bad shot and we'll go, oh man, it's the worst shot of my life. It's like, well, wait a minute, let's dissect that thought a little
It's
bit.
the worst shot so far.
Is it really the worst shot you've ever thrown, or was it just a little bit off? You
Yeah.
know, and how can I adjust? So constantly thinking about adjustment rather than like, oh, I suck at disc golf now.
Hmm.
You know, because it's
Hmm.
easy to fall in that hole.
Oh, I've done it too. I've
Yeah.
definitely picked up my putter, man. It's like I fucking hate this game. You know.
I mean, you've heard me say on the course, like, hey, check eBay later today. There might be a bag full of discs. You know, like, but no, like the truth is getting back to the heart and the love of the game for me this year, and
Hmm.
that's why I think I'm going to focus. I'm actually not going to play point series,
Okay.
because I don't want to get competitive with myself in that way, and I know
Hmm.
I will, but go have fun at these sports, at these different events, and grow the sport this year,
Yeah.
and get back to like what was fun about it. Work with kids, and
That's nice.
doing that, getting my daughter out there.
Yeah, I try to get my kids out there. My son has definitely more interest than my daughter does.
Yep.
She'll get to like hole 3 and want to go home.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
one that gets frustrating. Um, but my son, I can get him through. Well, at least the small courses
Yeah.
around here, like Elega Creek and of course Pine Woods, easy.
Yeah.
He'll just take. I got a couple dyno discs for him,
Yeah.
so he'll throw those. I'll throw my shot, and then
Excuse me.
as he's running up to his disc, and then he'll just keep throwing until we get to mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gassy now.
I love it. My daughter. We went over to Pine Woods before the snow broke, and I had just bought some new MVP putters that I wanted to try out, and she's running up there with a mini, and she's chicken arming this thing,
Oh yeah.
and she loves it. The other day she wants to putt with dad, and so we come up with this like bring it into your hip and then
Hmm.
push, and she loves it.
Yeah.
And as long as it's pink, she'll throw it. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why I have this. I don't even know what this thing is. A golem?
yep,
Something?
yep. Is that Divergent?
Yeah.
Yep, super
This
floppy.
thing, guys. I don't know.
Yeah. So I just bought it's
It's like
the
rubber.
Worm, and it's a 9-speed overstable guy.
Okay.
Because they were out of jets at Spartan, and I'm super excited to have something that I can just throw into a hill and it's gonna sit.
Yeah, I got a couple of Daredevils that'll do that for you.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it's the only reason I have this thing is because we went to Spartan.
Yep.
And when they were in the old building in Tonawanda.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, you guys can pick out a disc since I dragged you
Right.
here for myself.
Right.
And it's it's pink and green and colorful, so she grabbed this and we've never thrown it.
Yeah.
So I don't even know.
I mean, that means you got to get out there and throw it, make it cool for her.
I've never heard it. I heard of it before.
Yeah, it's basically a more stable zone.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, I was not big into the floppy disk thing.
A lot of people
It's
aren't.
it's a utility for me. Like I bought the Worm knowing that is probably going to get thrown once or twice around. Like the hole that I had in mind when I bought it was is it hole 5 or 6 out in Outwater, the big hillside where you throw right up to the road.
Oh, 6 is the long one that goes pretty much uphill.
Yep,
That's the
so
only par
6.
4.
I was thinking 6 where I can just throw it into that hillside and let it sit, not worry about it rolling, not worrying about a weird skip. Just something that I can throw into that and it's
Okay.
gonna stay.
I like mine because of definitely Outwater because there's a lot of hills there.
Yep.
The putter that I have, the Woodchuck, is super floppy. So hole 15, pretty much get down to the bottom of the hill there,
Okay.
and then now you got to putt uphill because the basket's uphill up there.
That's right. That's the one that's on the hillside.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then that putter's perfect because it's gonna stay right there.
Yeah.
Same thing with 16. That one's up on a hill too.
Yeah, and that one's on like a steep incline.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's why I like those putters. They're
Yeah.
great for those types of shots. Like I said, it's either gonna hit the
Definitely gonna
basket.
check out some of those. Those look. They just look fun.
They
you
are
know?
great.
And that's what I love about this year is again like getting back to the fun of it.
Mm-hmm. Like you told me earlier, you've never even heard of disc golf. Yeah, you never even heard of Daredevil until now.
Hey man, with the way I play sometimes, it's probably fair to say I don't know if I've heard of disc golf.
I've
I've
heard
heard of tree golf.
Woods golf.
Object golf.
So do you like? So okay, I do have a question for you then. Do you
Yeah.
prefer to play more of a wooded course or more of an open type course?
Depends.
Well, yeah, it all depends on the course.
It definitely depends because like I think I said like Como is my favorite course, and I
Mhm.
think it's because Como was like that it's just fun to play. It's challenging, but in a fun way. It's something new, and there's no safety at Como. Um, like
What do you mean?
I've donated many discs to
Oh
that
yeah,
water.
yeah.
But I don't know, because you play other courses. Like I was actually talking to a buddy the other day about, the one thing the Depew area is really missing is like a pitch and putt like Pinewoods, because I really
Okay.
love those as well,
Okay.
where you can really work on little form things and
Mhm.
walk out and play with 3 discs,
Yep.
versus Como where you pretty much need a full bag.
Pinewoods has definitely improved my upshots for sure, because
Yeah,
it's so easy to hit an early tree at Pinewoods,
it is.
and for you to maximize your second shot potential to get par still.
Yeah,
I've excelled at that at Pinewoods,
sure.
thanks to that course.
Yep.
So
And that's why I love it. Is you actually, like you were mentioning, I think before we got on, about being able to hit your line and like see using lower speed
mhm.
going farther for you. And
Yep.
I think that's teaching you good form. It's teaching you to get the right speed on the disc.
Mhm.
And that's what I love about these pitch and putts is you may not think like walking up to a 300-foot hole like, oh, I'm going to go with my buzz here,
Mhm.
when you have, your Raptor or like a Warbird or a Zeus or something like that.
Nukes, baby.
Yeah, right. Nuke everything.
Yeah.
Mr. Paul Uleberry out here. I'm gonna
Yep.
go with an ESP nuke. Gosh. Yeah. No.
Definitely.
Unnecessary. But yeah. So answer your question. I think I like a good mix,
Mhm.
but still requires a technical or accurate shot.
Yeah.
So
Yep, definitely.
probably more woods golf if I'm being honest.
Woods golf is fun. I enjoy it. A lot of my favorite courses are more wooded. Obviously, Pinewoods being one of them because, well, Pinewoods is 2 minutes down the road from me. What else am I going to do when I'm bored? I'm going to run to Pinewoods,
Right.
play for 30 minutes, and
You
come home.
also have ECP right there.
I do have ECP, but if I'm in a quick pinch, I can get
That's fair.
30 minutes
Yeah.
or less through Pinewoods if it's not busy.
I mean, you can speed run Pinewoods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, and like you said, I only have to grab a couple of discs. I don't have to bring my
Yeah.
whole bag.
Yep.
So it's great, and it's still fun with it being a 12 hole. I
Right.
still think it's fun, even though one of my ace holes is now gone. So
Yeah, man,
that would sucks.
that whole thing just really sucked.
Only my aces came at Pinewoods.
Yeah.
I have 2 aces in my career, and they're both there.
You're 2 ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
I've had lots of basket hits and whatnot, but
Same still. Yeah.
I think the joke is I don't play enough to actually.
The best is that I got 3 basket hits at Ellicott Creek and
Yeah.
1 at Outwater. That's
Okay.
about it.
Which one at Outwater?
Outwater at hole 7. So after obviously after 6.
After 6, the
Yep.
downhill shot kind of rolls to the left, or
Yep.
right to the street.
I just threw one of my mid ranges
Yep.
straight out there and had it fade right down to the basket, and I
It's
just
awesome.
hit the top of the cage.
Yeah, you being lefty, that's like
It's just an easy
just a
hyzer.
nice easy hyzer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a good shot for me.
Versus me, where I'm trying to like turn a berg,
Yeah.
slightly stable it out.
Yeah, let it
Yeah.
fade right down. That honestly though, that's a very beautiful shot when you can pull it off.
It is. It's a fun shot.
I started doing that hole 16 at Ellicott Creek because I used to forehand something down there, but since I've been rolling my wrist so much, 16 is the downhill.
Yep, the island hole.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody makes it an island. I used to forehand something down there,
Okay.
but I always roll my wrist now, and it just keeps going straight into the trees, which
Yep.
is out of bounds. So I started doing more Anheuser shots.
Yep.
And now I can float something right there.
Just like that soft fade.
Yep.
Just kind of
Yep.
pans.
I had
Yep.
one. I had to go right underneath the cage, and
Yep.
it rested right at the pin there. I actually won a CTP at the last event that I was there for that.
Right on.
So it was
Yeah. That reactor.
the reactor there,
Nice.
died reactor, yeah.
That's awesome.
And also won the river as
Yep.
well. Same event. That one was hole 2. I got the CTP on that one as well.
Yeah, man. You got some fun stuff up on that wall.
I have some cool discs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them that are from just events like the Niagara Classic, Tom Beck Memorial, Winter is Coming.
Yeah.
BFDO.
BFDO is fun.
I have a few of them up there.
Yeah.
This one here is from Lone Star that I still love.
Harpoon.
The Harpoon.
Yeah.
This is like one of the coolest discs that I have, I think.
Harpoon was one of those discs before they came out with the Artemis that I was trying. Again, my story with Lone Star is probably a little funny because I was trying to find things to fit that I already loved. So Harpoon was what I started throwing to replace a zone, and it's not going to do that.
Okay.
But I loved it. It turned into like a really fun, straight, stable finish shot for me. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna post a video soon about all the discs that I have in my bag still.
Gotcha.
It'll probably be out before I post this, so
Gotcha.
I think of something else to do. I like to post a reel every now and then. A couple of them a day if I can.
I only kept 3, and I'm a little sad about one that's probably going to disappear.
Which one's that?
I really love the horny toad.
Oh.
Like we talked about that.
Well, you gave me a horny toad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I also like it, and it's in my bag.
It's
so I don't think I'm gonna give it back to you.
That's fine. I love it. The thing is that the zone just has such a special place in my heart because of like relationships built through my first zone. That it's probably gonna lose that spot.
Gotcha.
And I think I showed you my D plastic horny toad. I threw it into a tree at Outwater and put a nice little fold into it. So it's gonna be a wall disc.
The one that you gave me is like it's got a huge puddle top to it.
Yep.
I don't know if they come like that or not, but it's got such a nice flip to it.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I took the Walker out of the bag and replaced it with the horny toad.
That's one that's actually staying in my bag.
Which one, the Walker?
Walker. I love that thing for forehands. You can really kind of turn on it hard, and it's always going to come back.
Oh yeah, you can cut a corner real good with that
and
disc.
the Chupacabra. So,
yep. The only time I really liked the Walker was at Royalton, because you can really cut around a lot of those trees with it.
Yeah.
So there's one hole in Royalton where there's a clear hyzer gap around the left of these trees that are literally like 20 feet off of the tee pad.
Right.
And it's like you can either go in between them and it's like maybe an 8-foot gap in between the trees, or you can just hyzer around. But if I hyzer around, I'm not getting to the basket either way. So I took the Walker and I'm like, I'm going to throw it on a little anhyzer. I'm just going to rip it between these trees and hope for the best. And worked out really well, actually.
Yeah.
So, but since the horny toad flips just as good as the Walker does, actually I think it has a little bit more glide than the Walker.
I think so too. So, Walker wants to get to the ground quick.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I think it's the way that rim is made.
Yeah. It's really sharp.
Yes.
Yeah. That actually brings up a question that I think we've talked about, but I don't know that I remember your answer.
What's that?
Is courses in Western New York. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of the new ones, blue shots are easier tee shots, harder to par.
You know what?
But white tees are more technical because it almost feels like we'll put the white tee 100 feet in front, but we're going to put it right in front of a couple trees.
If you're talking about Royalton, I can agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
And I never even played the blues, and I can tell you, it just doesn't make sense.
It's an easier shot.
Where these white pads are at Royalton, it's so weird to me. It's like it makes more sense to put the white tee back another 30 feet and maybe either right or left from where it's sitting on, like, I would say a good 40% of those holes.
Yep.
And it would make a lot more sense for
I've
opening up these fairways.
I've had this thought at both Royalton, which I think is where we talked about it.
Maybe.
But then also Bond. Like, you look at Bond's blues, I mean, they're an open shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm thinking of that first shot after you come up the hill. Down, what is that? That'll be 7.
One goes downhill.
8 and 9 go
7.
down the trail.
Yeah, 8 and 9 go down the trail up on top of the ravine.
You look at blues, it's a wide open tee shot that you're, 150 feet out, and you're trying to miss some things. But then white tee is just right in front of that thing that you're trying to miss.
Yeah, for hole 9 for sure.
Yeah.
Hole 8, a lot of people try to throw that left gap and just go straight at the basket.
Right.
Which it works out for a lot of people, actually. I can't throw straight. So I forehand something right.
Gotcha.
And let it come in. And actually, this mammoth here, I skipped up and hit the cage.
Yeah.
So I almost aced hole 8 with that mammoth from Daredevil.
I probably need to go out and do this again, but I've had this thought several times when playing both Royalton and Bond, where it's like, why is the harder shot shorter, you know, like more technical, I should say. It's probably not harder, it's just more technical.
I don't know. Maybe because a technical shot for the smaller arms, I would say,
Yeah.
is kind of easier than bombing it from blues. I can tell you
Yeah.
one thing:
Yeah, that's fair.
blues at Bond, the ones that scare me, like hole 12, scares me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would do that
That's fair.
as a lefty. I have no idea how I'm going to do
Yeah.
that play. It's just going to be a pitching up to the. I'm going to have to pitch up to the white pad and then play it like I normally do from whites.
Yeah.
That'd be the best shot for me.
Maybe I'm
Um,
being a little biased, but I just feel like the couple times
No,
that
I
I've
don't think
played
so.
it, couple times I've played blues with friends, and I'm
Mhm.
like, why am I scoring better on blues?
Playing
You
it,
know,
maybe you were just playing it smarter.
there's probably some of that, but I also think like hole one is a good example of this, where blues you're so high up above all the trees
Oh,
versus
okay.
whites, where you're kind of throwing like a true hyzer shot that you
Hmm.
can miss earlier. Where blues you can just throw over the top of everything, and you're gonna crash where you need to be.
Okay.
You know, like I think about that where I'm throwing the same shot, but one is significantly easier, and I have to put less body English on
Hmm.
to get where I want to go.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Hmm. I was gonna say like hole one. I'm getting closer and closer to parking.
Yep.
If that last tree, that real big spider web looking tree
Didn't
at the
catch
end by the
everything.
hole, yeah. If
Yeah.
that thing didn't catch it over time, I would be parking that hole right now.
Right.
Before I would do a huge hyzer,
Yep.
lefty hyzer up over the trees and let it
Right.
crash in the middle of the fairway down by the basket. I'm still looking at a good 50-foot putt though
Right.
for birdie.
And you're looking at a sneaky downhill putt too on
Yeah.
top of it all. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm getting closer. I mean, hole two, that one's hard for me. I
Yeah.
can't seem to get anything at the basket there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Bond. I might. We should do that. A
Yeah,
casual
we
round,
can
just
definitely do it.
and play blues. I've never played
I'll
blues.
tape it for us. We can set it up.
I got a nice camcorder for this year.
Right on.
I want to film every course.
Yeah,
I
sure.
definitely want to do that. I want to go out and do some challenge rounds.
Cool.
Film those too for
I'm
the channel.
totally done with that. I have a buddy who's really interested in doing some like bag swaps this year, and
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I'm like, man, I'm already bag swapping this year. Like,
Yeah,
I'm going back to stuff that I was throwing 2 years ago.
Same.
But it would be fun because you try new stuff. You know.
Mhm. It would be fun to see somebody bag swap with me because it literally is strictly half Lone Star and half Daredevil, with the exception of like 3 discs. So that would be pretty interesting to see what somebody will do with that.
Yeah.
So
Versus me, where they're like, oh, this guy just buys pretty pink discs and
a
all
lot
the
of mine
like
are yellow. Like
all the favorite mold zones and Zeus's and stuff like that.
they're all yellow.
You
This
do
is
look,
four, 5 putters and a couple fairways. Well, besides the one orange mid range in here, I
Yeah.
can see yellow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it. Yellow, bright orange, bright pink, bright blue.
I love my cotton candies, so I love blues and I love pinks. They're just easy to pick out.
There's a few people I see them. They're throwing like this clear plastic. Some people are throwing black, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're gonna lose that thing in a shadow.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't do it. But hey, whatever.
Yep.
You guys like what you like.
Yep.
I like the ones that you just brought me.
Yeah.
It's Lone Star Dos Equis. That's a cool stamp on there.
Yeah, that's from the I did their monthly boxes,
Okay.
and I kept a couple of them. I actually just gave my Horny Toad one to a buddy for a Christmas swap. Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, the stamps were awesome. They all look good, but I remember you were throwing it, so
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, I didn't throw it. So
I appreciate it. You're the only
Yeah.
one that's brought me a gift so far.
well, I feel like it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, and it's just, it's not necessary, but it is very nice. And I really
Oh.
appreciate it. And
Yeah,
thank you
man.
for the beer as well.
Of course.
So, I don't know, you want to keep going? We can keep going.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
We're almost up to an hour right now.
yeah. I guess I'll put this out there. Shameless plug is go check out Local Line.
Oh, yeah, I got
both
one
of
on
our,
too.
Both of our shirts, Local Line. I'm actually wearing my
Local line
my
apparel.
jersey too.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
But I am on that team again with Will, and they make great stuff, dude. Like, I
Mhm.
love their stuff. It's actually like a monthly happening at my house now. I do their sock subscription, and like my daughter, she'll snag them. She's like, "Can I open it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want." And then 2 seconds later, she's running down the house with stirrups on.
Oh,
But
nice.
great socks, great jerseys.
It's a great polo. I love
Yeah,
this one.
quality. Like you're paying
Yep,
you're paying for what you get for it and more.
looks real good.
But and then also just Spartan. Well, back up. If you do end up going to local line apparel, use code JY20 and get 20% off. So yeah, guys, you won't be disappointed. I promise you. Great people, great quality equipment. So yeah.
Nice.
And then Spartan, shout out to Spartan.
Shout out Spartan Disc. I'm gonna try to see you guys there this weekend for putting league.
Yeah.
For my first time on putting league at Spartan.
Let me know when you go.
I enjoyed myself at Fat Man's on Wednesday. I want to keep this going, and since I'm unemployed, I got nothing else to do. So
Yeah.
putting leagues is where it's at.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to mention this too. We were talking about disking down, going
Yep.
to lower speed discs. How I really figured out how to do that
Yeah.
was playing the Five Below league.
Oh yeah.
So that league is you get 5 discs, all 5 speeds or lower.
Yep.
And
You can surprise
that's
yourself.
it. I mean, I was very surprised. We were playing at Ellicott Creek Park, and I'm like, I'm parking the holes
Yep.
that I normally throw a driver at with this mid range,
Right.
and maybe I was putting a little more effort into actually throwing it because I knew
Right.
I had to throw it further and harder.
Yep.
But it was working out really well for me, and the first time I did it, I actually ended up winning that day.
Nice.
So, and then I lost every other day after. But
What I love about Five Below is when you get to open up the rest of your bag, like after a round,
hmm
you realize like you start throwing some of your fairways specifically a little bit cleaner,
Yep.
and
Yep.
you don't have to quite crank on them as hard.
Mhm.
So
Yes, I think that's what helped me out a lot. It's
Yeah.
just by disking down and playing that way. I think when some people start, they had the knowledge, or not the knowledge, but somebody told them use a mid range.
Yeah.
Like use your putters more than and your mid range is more.
Yep.
So
that's something I've started to implement.
no, I was handed a destroyer and said, "Here you go."
I think all of us are. It's actually one of my pet peeves with new disc golfers is they'll hand you something super overstable
Mhm.
or, like driver-esque where if I would have been handed a buzz to start out with,
Mhm.
I would have played the game completely differently. You know?
Probably same, probably. But yeah, no, I was handed a destroyer first and an AVR for putting.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss having a destroyer though. I might have to buy another one.
That's my new go-to. I took the Warbird out. That's one of the ones that came out. But
Mhm.
Bradley Williams came out with the baby destroyers, the lightweights,
Okay.
and they hold their stability, and I love them. They're great. I feel like I can crank over on them. I'm not hurting my arm trying to power up.
Okay.
Throwing cleaner. But yeah, you'll have to throw it. We'll do a bag swap.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It'd be your good time to try out these Daredevils.
Yeah, for sure. There's that Buffalo one. I think I might be grabbing one of those.
Those are cool. And plus,
Yeah.
we live in Buffalo. Why wouldn't you want to have a Buffalo?
Exactly. It's just a good looking disc.
It's a great looking disc.
I just love that stamp.
It's great.
So
Everything's great. It's all great about it, guys. Get yourself some Daredevil discs.
Yep.
Shout out Daredevil. Put me on your team. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in this week. Go ahead and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok. That's still there. And Facebook. I'm still creeping up to my 100 subscribers on YouTube. That's where our giveaway is happening. You want to hand me that disc there?
Yep.
We are giving away this custom dyed Brave that Keith from 4-Bin Dye Works did for me. 100th subscriber gets it on YouTube. So tell your friends, tell your families, tell your neighbor,
I'll tell you what.
your grandma, your priest, everybody.
I'll add to that. Like whoever wins, I'll throw in one of these local line shirts. Just get me your size.
There you go.
Let's do it.
There you go. 100 subscriber, custom dyed disc, and you heard it here. Joe's going to throw in a local line apparel jersey.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
Peace out.